And look at that. That is a certified turbo showstopper right there. It's just absolutely massive. All right, morning time, and it's time to move on. Obviously, in the last video, we were herping at Mount Kinabalu, and it was pretty amazing. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and check it out. But now we're leaving the mountain and we're heading down there to the lowlands, where we're gonna search for a lot more diversity, a lot more rare species, and I have a feeling it's gonna be fantastic. It always is. There's always gems, so stay tuned because we're gonna get out tonight and let's see what we find. I'll catch you when I catch you. There is rain in the air again tonight. Look at this. A little gap there and then even more here. It's raining on us right now, but it's looking torrential over there. Ugh, my stomach. All right, first snake showed up really quickly here on the trail. I don't know who spotted it. Who spotted it?
Me.
Yeah, Haley spotted this lovely, like mid-sized young adult white-bellied rat snake. Obviously these get huge to 3 meters long. But this one's maybe only around 1 meter or so. But yeah, you can see quite a big head and that huge eye. Very typical of the TS genus to have that huge eye. Perfect diurnal. As always, I love the color transition of this one from that kind of olivey green color on the anterior to becoming dark on the tail with some faint stripes. This is a species we see quite a lot down here in the lowlands, but I remember one didn't show up on the last trip, or maybe we only saw one. But nice to tick this one off straight away. A really cool diurnal colubrid, which sleeps up in trees at night, which is where we found this. Oh, we just got another snake here very early on. It's a triangle keelback. Some of you remember the last time we walked here, we found a triangle keelback at this exact pond, except 2 leaves over. So, oh, careful, a little bit swampy here. And there's more bugs in my eye, perfect. All right, managed to snag that one from out of there. Here you can get a look at a typical triangle keelback, small adult. It's got some reds on the side, but from this particular angle, oh well, the leech is visible, but the reds aren't. It is a leech party tonight. I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but it has been raining heavily recently, so I guess it's no surprise. All the other times we came this year, there was hardly any leeches around because it was bone dry. But this time you can see the ground is wet, there's more river running, and there's a leech on my nose as well, so that's just fantastic. All right, guys, good look at this snake. We're gonna keep moving, find as many as possible tonight. Check it out, guys. The freaking water monitor sleeping under here, man. What the hell, look. Here's a nice hole in the head frog, guys. One of the cooler frogs around here, quite clouted. Oh, another frog just jumped off next to it. That was a Odorana, but yeah, hole in the head frog. Kind of a slow night so far here at Lupamasa, but we're still very early on. We've only been hiking for like an hour or so, and we're 2 species up, which can definitely be worse. Still got a lot of area to check out here, so let's see if we can rustle something else up, huh? Holy crap, we had a drought for snakes for so long, guys. And look at that. Adult female Trimeresurus sumatranus in Borneo. Holy crap. There's been one showing up here at Lupamasa recently, but that was on the other side of the river. So we're thinking this could be a different individual unless it crossed the huge river, which would be unusual for this species, but wow. We'll get a closer look at this any second, but that is absolutely incredible. Wow, look at its face. The second I get close, it starts looking at me. That's a big girl right there, and she knows we're here, and she's not gonna play around. You guys know this species does not play. And it's heat sensing me, looking at me like that. That is a certified turbo showstopper right there. All right, there's gonna be a lot of noise in the background, guys, but that's because we just found an incredibly special snake, and it's finally happened. After seeing several of these this year, all being kind of younger ones, we finally got an adult female in 2024, and this is absolutely huge. Like, it is giant. I'm telling you, man, this one's like at least 1.2 meters in length, possibly longer. Maybe I'll try get an actual measurement using the snake measurement app before we get out of here, then I can put exactly how long it is on screen. But just look at that. Yeah, as you can see, the Bornean form is this like yellow coloration instead of green. That's kind of unique to this island particularly. Younger females, juveniles, and males are always green in coloration, but when they get huge like this, they become this incredible kind of pale yellow, which I really like. It's extremely special. I like that Borneo has a different form, and it retains absolutely no green. You know, sometimes you can see some patches of green within the black scales, but this time, absolutely nothing. All right, so we just wrapped up our photography session here. We're just hiking around Lupamasa Rainforest Camp. We've got Jonas and his son back there. Herman's in the back, and a big group of us here. We have a couple friends of mine who are from Singapore who've also joined. because we are all walking around here and we said if we found something amazing that we share it, and without a doubt we found something absolutely amazing. And just before we let this girl go, I want to give you an idea of the size, because when I saw her coiled up in the tree there, I had no idea how long it would actually be. I did say already take a photo for measurement, but I'm going to turn my own light on for a second here. She is quite defensive. Just going to try and get her in hand. She's very fixated on this rock now. All right, go that way. And here you go. Like, I'll try and lift it up as high as possible so you can see. It's just absolutely massive. Like, this one lengthwise must rival that giant female we got in southern Thailand. Like, it absolutely must. I know I've got my headlamp on a light setting, but I hope you can make this out. It's absolutely insane. Just trying to balance it as best as possible on the hook. We're estimating around like 1.3 to 1.4 meters. Sometimes you can overestimate these snakes, but I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely huge when you get it stretched out. Like, genuinely incredible. It's been a while since I've seen an adult female of the Bornean clade sumatranus. This is the third one I've ever seen, and it never gets old. Like, this is without a doubt one of the most incredible snakes I've ever seen. Like, just absolutely amazing. Let's go.
Yeah, Bagulung. I have to catch you later. Tomorrow or after tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so goofy. What a goober.
Look at his little these big old cool
Oh, I'm
fans.
gonna need that shot too.
What a cutie.
Emily's getting the biggest ankle.
And it started downpouring with rain, so I think that might call it for our hiking. Trying to get back to the car as fast as possible before this rain turns into something more torrential. But holy crap, guys, slow night but incredible night, and we could still yet find more stuff. Depends if we go out cruising or if the rain stops and we do more walking. But goddamn, it's been crazy so far. Frog. A new day down here in Poring. I just cannot stop showing the incredible views of the rainforest here. I'm addicted to it, I love it, and we're gonna get out herping ASAP, gonna grab some dinner and hit the forest. Ah, there we go. Mangrove snake. All right, first snake of the walk is this juvenile or sub-adult mangrove snake. Of course, they can be a third of the size of this. You can see my hand next to it here. Not that small at all, but considerably smaller than they can be. And I just got him to sit still on this rock for a moment, and you can see this lovely snake. I'm so happy when I encounter these, because this form in Borneo is so much better than Melanota on the mainland. The complete rings and the intensity of the rings, like how frequent they are along the body, is just so awesome. Like, I really, really love these. So nice to see here, cruising along these streams. And we've been seeing them really consistently this year, which is cool, because sometimes they can just be strangely just absent for no apparent reason. But it took us 2 walks in the lowlands and we picked one up, and we're all so happy about that. Whenever people come out to Southeast Asia, this is always one of the most desirable species, and I don't blame them.
Oh my God.
Second snake of the night for us is this in-shed elegant bronzeback. Not the first time I found an in-shed elegant bronzeback along this trail, and probably won't be the last. They seem to be pretty abundant here, and for some reason they're always shedding. That's odd, but you can see it's showing us so much blues. If it wasn't in shed, that would be like electric blue on the side. But the tongue is vibrant, vibrant red, and I can feel a leech biting my arm, so I think I'm going to cut this clip short. Look at this. There's also one in here. Yeah, there's some leeches biting me in various places. And this one snake's trying to bite now too, so definitely the end of this clip. All right, next snake of the night, we picked up this Hatila prasina. You know, really not a common snake in this particular area. You know, so common in elsewhere in Southeast Asia. But here in these like primary lowland forests in Borneo, honestly, they don't show up that often. I don't think we even saw one on the last trip, and we only saw like 1 or 2 on the trip before. So yeah, this one's got a really interesting blue nose. I don't know how well you can make that out. It goes on my, like a really cool aberration there. It's not uncommon for these to have like cyan kind of teal sections of scales. But such a distinctive blue nose is definitely an interesting trait, which I like about this one a lot. There you go, you can see it perfectly now. Yeah, nice to see a vine snake out here tonight, and we're gonna move on. Holy crap. Yeah. Slow night, but a huge mangrove snake just showed up, and he's about to bolt. Oh, coming straight towards us. I'm gonna grab him. All right, here it is on the path. Yeah, huge freaking Dendrophila here. You know, not crazy lengthwise, maybe only 1.7 meters, but the thickness of the body of this species is always the most impressive part. And you can kind of see a bit of what I was talking about earlier when I said that it seems like in adults, at least there's the illusion given that there's less bands, or there's certainly more space between the bands, which makes the patterning less intense than it is in juveniles. But it's still like an absolutely remarkable snake, one of the most iconic species in Southeast Asia. And it's always great to come down here to Poring and see these around here. Cruising around the streams, they love it, especially when it's a bit drier. And there was no heavy rain here actually today. We thought it was gonna tip down with rain on us tonight, but we've actually had a perfectly dry walking session this evening. Hey, come back. This is how you get these to sit still, by the way. Little life hack. You just gently press on their head. Really, really strange. I can't remember which animal it is that if you press their head down, they kind of just go completely placid, but this reminds me of that. Well, this is a crazy situation. I was just taking a couple pictures of this snake since it's so cooperative, and Emily just pointed to the sky. Huge white-bellied rat snake right above us. We walked up here earlier. I swear that was not there. That's so strange how that happens sometimes. What the hell? We're not going to disturb this big rat snake because we saw one last night, but you can get a good look at it here. Considerably larger, double the size of the last one. You can see the kind of typical brown body, green upper body. That's T.S. fusca right now. One of the more common species in these lowland rainforests here in Borneo, but one we're always happy to see. Really impressive, large colubrid.
You know, let's just go for it. Oh, thank you. Beautiful.
All right, my group have adjourned to go back and have some beers, but I'm still feeling herpy. So I'm gonna do some like forest scouting and see if I can turn anything up before I go to bed, because getting 5 species would be nice. That's always my goal kind of in the lowlands of Borneo. I consider 5 species, well, I aim for it to be my pie, you know? So let's rock it. All right, my solo hiking endeavors have turned up a snake, and finally a sign of Attribution-ShareAlike. This is what we were out searching for tonight with the guys. Although obviously you guys know just as well as me, we're looking for a big female. This is just a young male here, a sub-adult male. And you can tell that by just the spotting instead of the bands. Let's see if we can get around a bit here and show you that head. Really cool, typical Attribution-ShareAlike ambush position here, situated against a tree, waiting for most probably geckos to run up for it to grab. At this size, they feed almost exclusively on geckos from the records that I've seen scattered around. But I think it's starting to rain, so I might make a bolt back to the room. So this will probably be the last snake of what's actually been a decent night. We pulled up 5 species at the worst time of year. First cloudy afternoon here in Poring, so I think we're going to take this opportunity to go for a day walk, see if we can turn anything up. Just in the daytime, got a little Sphenomorphus here, maybe Scotophilus, Songocolos, some small one. Surprisingly letting me get close. Angle-headed lizard. Alright, so surprisingly in the daytime I managed to catch this male Gonocephalus borneensis, and no, this isn't stress coloration, this is how they naturally look during the daytime and at night. The males of this species are this very brown coloration, whereas the females are more greenish generally, with some green and black patches on them. These males have such an incredibly impressive ridge. This spine of horns is fantastic, and this is just a young male, so this spine will get even more drastic and exaggerated as they age. But really surprised I could get hands on with one of these during the daytime. That's not a bad find at all. Very cool.
Yeah, I can see it.
I always find Draco lizards kind of hard to come by in Borneo, but we just got our first one of the trip on the side of this tree. I have no idea what species it is. It's grey and incredibly camouflaged, but we went here specifically because it looked like perfect habitat for these. And sure enough, we turned one up. Let's go. Here's the little Attribution-ShareAlike from last night. Unsurprisingly, it hasn't moved at all in the exact same position. We're going to keep walking around, see if we can rustle up any other reptiles, but it's always nice to come back and watch these in situ in the daytime. It somehow looks so much more naturalistic than under the torchlight at night. I love that. I always enjoy this view over Mount Kinabalu up there. Shrouded in cloud tonight. It's been very, very rainy the whole time we've been here. But we just wrapped up dinner and we're going to get out herping very soon. Once we get back to the rooms, let's go. All right, here we go. Another night hitting up Lupamasa, starting on the other side tonight, on the other side of the river, and we're going to do a big loop around. Obviously, you guys know we took a 1 night off from here, did a different area, so hopefully some new snakes will be moving around or resting in the area, and we're looking to turn up as many as possible. My personal goal tonight is to find 5 species of snake. Like, that's going to be a challenge considering how the last 2 nights of this trip have gone. But last night we managed it, and I'm going to try it again tonight. So let's get cracking. Hopefully we can get one early on. First snake of the night, sleeping triangle keelback above the stream down there. Typical place for these. They are active at night, but often they're digesting a meal which they caught in the daytime, as they're cathemeral, this species, for sure. Looks like it has a meal as well. The body looks a little bit enlarged. Yeah, here's a little bit of a better look. You can see it here. In all its glory. Doesn't look like it's got a meal actually, just looks like it's particularly large. I mean, some frogs are very hard to see when they're meals inside the body because they're quite slender line, but that's a cool in situ there, and that's exactly how we're going to leave this snake because we caught one the other night. But nice to start off the snake early. Start off the night early with a snake.
For the road.
All right, we just got a Draco lizard in the jungles of Borneo. Honestly, like, I really do not see these often sleeping, nowhere near as much as we do in Thailand. But this is obviously Draco cinque fasciata, one of the most distinctive gliding lizards because of that amazing 5-banded sunset pattern wing they have. And I love the like nice green body on these as well, the green and brown bands. They're really, really beautiful species of Draco. One of my favorites, and certainly one of the smallest species of Draco as well. This one would be a fully grown adult here. They're often much smaller, but this is kind of typical for adult size of this species. Great to see one of these. We've been hoping to see a Draco up close so much, and I'm getting absolutely swarmed by bugs, so I'm going to cut this video pretty short. From far away down the stream, I spotted a vine that's not moving as a vine is supposed to. And that usually indicates a blunt-headed slug snake is on the move. Snake number 2, new species for the trip. Let's go.
Yeah, what is snake?
All right, here you can see the snake in hand. This is a really impressive blunt-headed slug snake because it's like uniform brown color, exactly the same on the venter as it is on the dorsum. Probably one of the best camouflaged morphs out there. Like, if this hadn't have been moving, it would have been very hard to spot. And also, this one's kind of rare in that it's not doing the infamous cinnamon roll ball up technique. It's just kind of flopping around in my hand, which is you know, maybe like 1 in 5, 1 in 6 of these don't do that. Most of them do. I think like everyone we found this year pretty much has been doing that, but this is an outlier. Kind of sad because these guys don't get to see the iconic defensive display, but they do get to see this absolutely iconic snake, the goofiest in Southeast Asia. Yeah, check it out. Banded linsang. Letting us get real close here, just perched there, coiled up like a kitty cat. Strange civet right there. Third species of the night showed up. This dusky wolf snake is just chilling in this little root system here, hunting lizards. Quite a young one. Relic bands on it. I'm gonna grab it. Yeah, as I was saying, like, it's a really interesting life stage, one I've never seen before. I've seen a couple tiny juveniles with the white bands, but I've never seen one with these like relic white bands before, like a true subadult individual. You can see it just very faintly on the body, the traces of all the white bands. So that's quite nice, but you guys know, they're species we encounter hiking in these tropical rainforests quite often. They're a very active snake that moves around a lot on the ground, in trees, on rocks, and even underwater. It can be very, very aquatic in certain areas at certain times of year, especially when it's dry. And when it's raining like this, you tend to find them a bit away from the water, as the rushing water is very, very strong. And that's another nice encounter for tonight. That's species number 3. And we're going to keep going. I want to turn up more stuff tonight, and this is a welcome find though. A lovely non-biting lycodon. That is crazy. One of the first on the channel, maybe? I knew it was going to happen one of these nights, and indeed, the rain, the torrential rain has struck, and we're stuck in the jungle. So, no breaks now. We've got to keep searching. In the rain, we just got species number 4 of the night. It's an elegant bronzeback, but not in shed this time. I'm going to film it when I'm under some cover. All right, I hope it's not too fogged up, but here you can see, yeah, a not in shed elegant bronzeback. Far from the most beautiful one, but it does have much more distinctive yellow and black striping on the lateral half. And there are some blues visible between the scales there, along with that nice kind of purplish tan. I'm not sure quite how to describe that color, but that nice vertebral color as well. This is, yeah, species number 4 of the night. We're slowly picking up snakes. Better rate probably than any of our previous nights in terms of encounter to encounter. So we're happy with that, and we're going to keep moving. Once the rain stopped, we'll start walking some different trails, and hopefully more snakes will show up. Just spotted what I think is another elegant bronzeback up in this tree over here. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but that light colored thing at the top of that like tree in the background, secondary background, not third. Man, it has taken a while for one of these to show up, but finally got our first long-nosed horn frog of this trip. Usually we would have seen multiple of them by this point, by night 3, but this time it took a bit of extra time, but we got this nice kind of medium-sized individual with extremely pronounced nose and just all around looking incredibly leaf-like. What an awesome frog. I always have to show these when we see one of these of a trip. An absolutely iconic species which defines the amphibian fauna of Southeast Asia. I love it. Man, Lupamasa Rainforest Camp here in Ranau has like, it's just some of the best habitat you're ever gonna herp in Southeast Asia. Like absolutely incredible primary rainforest with giant trees everywhere. Just perfect for all your dream species you want to see. So I highly recommend you head down here and give them a call. You'll see their signs if you come to Boring. I just love this habitat. Look at this tree overhanging here. Oh my God, that is wild with the ficus growing on it. Incredible. Hey, Matt just spotted our 5th species of the night and a new one for the trip. It's a freaking Boiga nigriceps, a nice adult one as well. Let's just admire it crawling around in situ for a moment and then we'll get it in hand. Not looking forward to that massively because these are big biters, but look at him there. All right, I did the typical Boiga secret magic trick to make them sit still. And now we can get a good look at this Boiga nigriceps. Far from the most beautiful one I've ever laid eyes upon, but far from the most ugly as well. It's got some greens creeping up on the anterior third and a nice kind of tan coloration through the body, bordering on orange. Looks a little bit washed out in the video, but you can take a look at that nice dark head from which it gets its name. Really, really nice to see these. Quite a species we see like once every trip when we come down these parts, along with some of the other Boigas. And if you can see those random blurry patches, it's because the bugs are just crazy tonight. They've been all over us. These are some kind of flying ants, although these flying ants, they do bite or something when they get on you for too long. So it's kind of annoying, but this is a great look we're getting at this snake. Everyone's enjoying seeing a lot of snakes active tonight, and there's a wasp. So it's time to go, it's time to go. Oh my God. Look at that. Just when we thought the night was over, just when we were about to get back to the car, I look up into the tree and I see something white, and there's a lot of bright white flowers up in this tree. So I thought it was just gonna be a flower, but something about the shape wasn't right. And it turned out to be the vibrant white underside of this female Tropidolaemus subannulatus, which was such a huge target of ours. And judging by the lack of Tropidolaemus sightings over the last few days, I was really not optimistic about us turning one up, because females, I mean, while the species is one of the most commonly observed in Borneo, it's typically juveniles and males that you see everywhere. Adult females are truly few and far between in any given few square kilometers of forest, so finding one is not easy. This one is just undergoing the color change, or it's very much underway on the color change. And I expect this one to turn into the teal morph, like the one we saw last time that we call Blue Girl, because she's got the red eye. We generally associate the red eye with the ones becoming blue. And I don't really see too many golds. I already see the kind of, I guess, get the feeling that this greens on the body is slowly going to turn into that teal coloration over time. But she's looking fantastic there, and is not small. Let me see if I can get her. Yeah, you can see my hand next to it here. Not really doing it justice. When it's stretched out, it's a decent sized one. Here in Borneo, they go through the color change so late. Like in Phuket in southern Thailand, a waggler's female would already have the adult female coloration at this point. It's got like a little mite walking on its head, and that's making it twitch. I've seen these guys do something incredible before. If they have an ant on them, they will like rub their head against their body in this really aggressive manner where it's getting bit, and they'll rub the ant off. It's actually quite an interesting little adaptation. But I love the red eye on this one. It's so freaking cool, and really happy to see this at the end of what's been a great night. By far our best night so far. Just on the way out, we stopped a little stream to have a look for toads, and there's another triangle keelback. Oh, off he goes. See you, buddy.